Filipinos call the Iters and dark-skinned Filipinos the N-word. But is it okay for a Filipino to call a foreigner who looks like me the N-word? Before we answer that question, I'm going to give you a little background to the N-word in the Philippines. The N-word in the Philippines is regularly or generally used to address the Iters, an indigenous tribe in the Philippines, or dark-skinned Filipinos. And the most commonly used word is negrito. Negrito is a word that is deeply rooted in their Spanish colonial heritage, and there's even an island here, or islands and a province called Negros Occidental. I'm not really sure why it's called that name. And the word negrito, or the N-word here, simply refers to a description of skin color. I may be wrong. It may just simply refer to a description of skin color and not really some racial word or racial slur. And now, is it really okay for a Filipino to call a foreigner who looks like me the N-word because they call the Iters and dark-skinned Filipinos the N-word, and it's quite acceptable here? Well, I think Filipinos need to find out a little bit about addressing Africans or African Americans the N-word. There's a heavy history linked to it. There's a history of slavery. So calling a foreigner who looks like me the N-word may be quite offensive because it's linked to a history of slavery. But another foreigner who looks like me, or an African American, calling me the N-word, it's quite fun. It's kind of a fraternity, a way of bonding, friendship, brotherhood. So it's quite fun for another person who looks like me calling me the N-word. It's quite okay. But for a Filipino calling me the N-word, I don't think every person who looks like me is going to find that acceptable. I think Filipinos need to learn more about their background of the N-word, or addressing a foreigner who looks like me the N-word, and the history it carries. Because if you don't know it, just Google it. Find out the history of the N-word to Africans and African Americans. It's quite a heavy word to just use like that. It's not because it's acceptable to Iters and dark-skinned Filipinos that it is necessarily acceptable to foreigners who look like me. I think Filipinos need to find out more about that. It's gonna help. And you can educate your younger ones who don't know the meaning of this. So when they're using it, they make sure they're using it with someone who is quite comfortable to be called that.